Well, this could be an ambush spot. Ole Miss plays Florida Saturday. This is a legit game, guys. You may not respect Florida, but the quality of team they can put on the field if DJ Lagway is healthy is one of an ascending team. And then you got Ole Miss, which is obviously a team in ascension mode. We always look for that in November. Colorado's an ascending team. Teams that are playing their best ball at the right time. And what you'll find is, especially in the SEC, because some of the bad teams have a lot of talented players on the roster, they just haven't played well this year. At any given point, if any of those teams gets its act together in November, you could have like a 500 team with 13 or 14 future NFL players on it, and you go into their building, 90,000 plus, and you realize, this feels like a better team than someone fighting for bowl eligibility. That may be what you're dealing with Florida here. Now, Florida was more opportunistic than dominant against LSU. The LSU box score looked like they won by 10. In reality, they got beat by 11 because Florida was very situational. They were opportunistic. How opportunistic can you be against Ole Miss? How do you limit explosive plays? That's the whole key. Both ways here, that's the key. Ole Miss is second in the country offensively in plays of 20-plus yards. Florida's defense, you know what? That's a paper popper of a stat. I got to go back. So we're live, or I'd have Jesse and Colin edit this out. Ole Miss's offense is second in the country in plays of 20-plus. Florida's defense is 125th in stopping them. Well, that's not a great thing. Again, we are fortunate we do not play football games on paper, or Ole Miss would have just won right there after those words came out of my mouth. But it's the same the other way. Because DJ Lagway, Florida quarterback, on throws of 20-plus yards in the air, he is the best in college football. Now, you would think that means, oh, man, Florida's offense just up and down the field. Nope. Very inconsistent. Very erratic. They cannot put together consistent, sustained drives to save their lives. However, Lagway's the kind of guy who could complete 13 balls and 9 of them would be for 20-plus yards. And he's the kind of guy, this is the kind of offense that you could be sitting in the stadium going, boom, touchdown. That could happen to you like 3 times in a Florida game. Will it happen here? It's kind of all or nothing. You've got to make him sustain drives against you. Easier said than done. If Lagway has protection, Ole Miss is 82nd in pass defense. So the Ole Miss secondary, the whole catch-22 there is they've got, to me, they got the best pass rush in the country. Statistically, it is whatever it is, but they've got the best pass rush. They got the most dynamic group of pass rushers in the country to me. So you rarely have time. Like Carson Beck didn't have time against them. Well, if Lagway has time, because unlike Beck, he can move the pocket a little bit more with his feet, then it's a different ball game. I mean, Ole Miss is 7th in pressures and 1st in sacks. I said that, Jesse, and I had the numbers right in front of me. They are 1st in sacks in the country. They're 7th in pressure rate. So if that happens, then the whole Lagway downfield thing becomes a moot point. But their pass pro at Florida is pretty decent. Lagway can move the pocket. Maybe it looks a little different than Ole Miss versus Georgia did. Florida needs to flip 3rd and 4th down. So this is where this game could hinge. If you could convince me that Florida does way better on 3rd and 4th down than they usually do, I would talk upset. Forget about covering. I would talk upset. But Florida is 99th on 3rd down and 1/10 on 4th down. And Ole Miss's defense is 12th in the country on 3rd downs allowed. So let's take a look at what the model thinks. FanDuel right now is Ole Miss minus 10.5. And we agree with them. We got Ole Miss minus 11. This is an extremely high variance game, meaning if we fanned out the deck of cards and we simulated this game 52 times, then there are wildly differing outcomes. There's a Florida by 14 in there. There's an Ole Miss by 38 in there. This is not really tightly compacted, only because of the explosive play in 3rd, 4th down variance. So what I mean when I say all that is, I respect Ole Miss. I think they're the most underrated team in the country. I think they're going to win the game and cover. And I also wouldn't be shocked if they lost outright. That makes no sense, I know. But if you understand the profile of these two teams right now, you understand why I'm not betting a dime on this game. But I am going to take Ole Miss to win and cover, and at the same time say, yeah, Florida's got a halfway decent shot here.